It's winter time in Pennsylvania. Let's get inside here. Nice and cold in here too. These early mornings in the winter are brutal. Let's get some heat going. What's going on, guys? This is Danny from Slow Restoration, and I'll see you when the shop heats up in a little bit. Alright guys, we're getting there. Not exactly warm yet, but definitely better than 30 degrees. Working on the Project Lsxtreme, of course, today. We need to get this motor finished, cleaned up, and painted. It's a little loud with that heater, so I'll just get you called up after I can turn the heat off. Alright guys, we got a package here, and it's from well, who's it from? KBD. It's the urethane front bumper cover for the Extreme package, and they come folded. I don't know if you see down in there, but supposedly you pull these out, warm them up, and they go right back into the shape they're supposed to be. So let's get this thing pulled out and see how bad it looks. Alright, so that's what it looks like out of the box. Obviously this side is really folded, so let's hope it goes back into shape. They say just put it in front of a heat source or in a heated paint booth. So we do have a heat source. We're not going to get too close, but let's see if this thing goes back and relaxes into its original shape. That's kind of a shame. These things are folded so hard that actually you can see kind of stretch marks on the urethane, but let's see if it does what it's supposed to. Alright, we got a motor sprayed up here. Of course, like I said before, we're not worried about overspray on the oil pan because it's junk. It actually has a crack in it, and we're putting on the engine swap pan. So, and we're also pulling this front balancer off to do the cam swap, and we'll glass bead it and make it nice then. I went ahead and painted the front cover as I painted the motor. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it like that or not, but since I was spraying, it's easier just to paint it. It's got to come off to do the cam swap too. If I decide I don't like it, I'll just glass bead that too and put it back to original. But it looks pretty good. We didn't spend a ton of time on it. We did do it, obviously, Chevy orange to match like an LSX block. Once we get the rest of our parts bolted on there, it'll look good. Alright, we got the rest of our parts all that we have blasted all set up here, ready to paint. Actually ready to primer and then paint. We got our cross member, rear differential, rear springs, and the bed stuff there. So we'll get this stuff wiped down, prepped a little bit, and get some paint and primer on there. Back in the house garage. Unfortunately, the heater's running again. It's just cold today, so I'll try and talk up so you can hear me. We're going to install our upper ball joints in our A-arms, and to do that, we got to pull our dust boot off, because when you stick the ball joint in the A-arm, obviously it's sticking up. So the dust boot needs to go on after the ball joint gets installed. So to do that, we're just going to take a small plastic pry bar and pry that boot off, and then we'll get the ball joints bolted in. So we can have those off. As you can see, the ball joint sits nice and flat, and we'll just drop our bolts down through And these nuts are lock nuts. Once they go on, they tighten up. As you can see, they're kind of oblong. You see that. So we'll get these run down, get them snugged up on both sides. We got the nuts and bolts all tightened up. Got our dust boot slid back on there, and we're working on the front now. It came with new hardware here for these. And normally I wouldn't use these because the factory ones have a clip to keep that from spinning, but with those being open, you can reach right in there and get a socket on there to get the adjustment. So I think I'm going to swap them out because they're much nicer than these. But anyway, we're still waiting on some more. Well, I talked to the brake line people today, but we haven't figured anything out. So hopefully we can get that figured out tomorrow, because I need to get my crossover piece here so I can get the motor back in. We did get the motor painted. We got to get the cam installed. There's just a lot of odds and ends, loose ends that need to be tied up right now in this project. To me, it's the annoying part of this project. We have a lot of things apart, a lot of things that need to go back together, and some of them need to go back together in a certain order. And when you don't have that part, or the part doesn't fit, it slows you down. And we don't really have time to be slowed down at this point. So. And I really need to make this thing roll. We have the back suspension painted. I can reassemble it and get it slid under. And I'm really working to get this front on. It's really hard to put springs in the A-arms with no weight on the frame. So I was really hoping to get the motor back in. But of course, I can't put the motor back in until I get this brake line installed. So, and I'm actually not even going to put the motor back in until I get the cam installed anyway, because we have to change all that over. So it'll just be easier while we're out. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Have a good day, and we're going to keep moving on this.